Stability is one of the most comforting ideas ever sold. It promises safety, predictability, continuity. But stability, when misunderstood, becomes stagnation. Still water looks calm. It reflects the sky. It appears peaceful. And beneath the surface, it decays. Uncertainty exhausts the nervous system. Humans evolved to survive immediate threats, not prolonged ambiguity. Stability offers relief from constant decision-making. It allows people to plan, to rest, to believe tomorrow will resemble today. Systems learn this early. If you promise stability, people will trade adaptability for comfort. They will accept limitations as long as outcomes feel familiar. Stability reduces resistance more effectively than force. But what feels stable is often just unchallenged. Stability resists change. Resilience absorbs it. A stable structure works until conditions shift. A resilient one expects change as a constant. Water does not try to remain still. It moves to remain intact. Systems that prioritize stability freeze themselves in time. They optimize for yesterday's conditions and treat deviation as risk instead of reality. This is how rot begins. Movement cleans. Circulation refreshes. Flow prevents buildup. When systems stop moving, problems do not disappear. They accumulate. Inefficiencies stack. Inequities deepen. Complexity increases. Trust erodes. The surface remains calm because pressure is distributed slowly. By the time disruption becomes visible, decay is already systemic. Rot is not loud. It is patient. Stability is not just a condition. It is a narrative. Too big to fail. Safe and sound. Protected by regulation. These phrases are designed to quiet doubt. They frame movement as danger and preservation as virtue. People are taught that change is reckless and questioning is irresponsible. But no living system survives by remaining unchanged. When stability becomes sacred, adaptation becomes heresy. Rot begins where inspection is rare. Outdated assumptions, unexamined incentives, deferred maintenance, unchallenged authority. Because nothing appears broken, nothing is fixed. The system continues to function, barely, and that functioning becomes proof of health until it doesn't. Collapse rarely comes from sudden shocks alone. It comes from years of ignored decay finally meeting pressure. Still, systems reward compliance. If you do not move, you are safe. If you do not question, you belong. If you do not adapt, you are predictable. Over time, people internalize this logic. They stop preparing for change and start defending the system itself. That is the final stage of rot. When a system has been still for too long, any movement feels extreme. Even small shifts trigger fear. Even minor disruptions are framed as existential threats. This is not because change is dangerous, but because the system has lost its ability to absorb it. Water that has not flowed becomes fragile. No system escapes change. Stability only postpones it. The longer movement is delayed, the more violent the eventual correction becomes. Pressure that is not released accumulates energy. When release finally comes, it is interpreted as chaos rather than consequence. People blame the storm. They forget the stagnation. Flow is not instability, it is continuous adjustment. Small movements prevent catastrophic shifts. Ongoing circulation keeps systems clean, responsive, and honest. Flow exposes weaknesses early when they can still be addressed. This is why dynamic systems appear messy. They are alive. True stability is not stillness. It is the ability to change without breaking, movement without collapse, adaptation without fear, flow without loss of identity. Water does not rot because it moves. It survives because it refuses to stay still. If a system tells you it cannot change, it is already dying. If it tells you movement is dangerous, it is protecting decay. And if it promises stability above all else, it is asking you to ignore the smell. Still water rots, flow endures, and the difference between the two is not time. It is movement.